Everybody, welcome back to the Dreamhive. My name is Galen, and I want to give you a quick update as far as what I've been doing working on what I call Project Cupcake. It's a video game that I'm working on. This is my second video ever on this channel, and it's a little bit later than I had hoped, but I want to kind of explain why that is. First off is the beginning of this month, I took part in my first ever game jam. I didn't officially enter, but I did take part during the weekend of Ludum Dare, or Ludum Dare. I've heard a few people say it differently. But essentially, I wanted to take part in it to see if I could actually make a game in a 48-hour period. And I did. I admittedly, I took a few extra hours on Monday and a couple of hours on Tuesday and to kind of polish it up a little bit. But I did complete a game from start to finish that is coding and artwork, and I had a good friend of mine do some music for it. If you want to check it out, it's a very simple little game. It's called Battle Bees. It's on itch.io. I'll put a link in the description down below where you can download it. It's free. It's super short and it's a very basic game, but I had a lot of fun and I learned a lot. And let me show you what this game actually looks like. Like I said, I'll put a link down below where you can download it from itch, and I will open the game up and show it so you can check it out. And so it's a super simple little game. It's just move and shoot, sort of a scroller kind of bullet hell type game. You have a little bee character that moves around, and there are different enemies, different wasps and flies and things like that. There's even a boss, and there are several different power-ups that have different effects on the game. They change the color of the bee, they change the way you fire, or maybe even the projectiles that you shoot. And there's a little kill counter at the top and a little health bar, and that's about the extent of it. But being a newbie for game creation and being someone who has never actually put out a game to the public before or anything like that, much less done a game jam and tried to complete a game in 48 hours. I learned a lot from this, and I feel like it kind of applies to a few different things, not just with game creation, but I could see how it would apply as an artist as well. The pressure of having to complete something in a short amount of time, in a weird way, it takes away the pressure of trying to make it, perfect. Because you're working on this thing and you know that there's a time crunch. You know that nobody is going to expect it to be amazing, right? So then you can really just get down to the work of making it. And I found myself being not only more productive and doing things faster, but I found myself learning faster. Like I stopped worrying so much about like, well, I don't know how to do this, or I don't know how to make this happen. And I just started working. If I came to something I couldn't solve, I jumped on Google and tried to find an answer to it. And if I couldn't find an answer, I would dig through YouTube and look for a tutorial or something real quick. I streamed a lot of it on Twitch, and we had a good time. It was draining, but amazing at the same time. And I know I didn't officially participate. I mainly wanted to do it because it was a challenge, and I wanted to see if I could even get kind of close to completing a game in that time frame. I didn't follow the theme or anything like that. It was just like, okay, I have a simple idea. Let's make it from scratch and see how it goes. And I had a lot of fun. But more to what I'm working on now, there's another reason you haven't seen a lot of updates from me in the past couple of weeks, and that's because I've decided to switch game engines for Project Cupcake. And the reason behind that is I feel like I love Gamemaker, but I had some friends point out that I should try a game engine called Godot, which is it's an open source and it's a free game engine where you can develop and you can export. You have full ownership of everything you export. It is very different working in Godot than it is working in Gamemaker. Primarily for me, getting used to the sort of node-based system, and there's a completely different syntax with GD script versus GML. Basically what I've been doing for the past few weeks is just like devouring any tutorial I can find on making games with Godot. And as of yesterday, or maybe the day before, either way, as of recently, very recently, I've finally started actually working on bringing Project Cupcake over into Godot and building the game there. Um, so I've got to start from scratch with developing the state machines and getting the character up and running, and no pun intended, but getting everything together and making things work. And but I'm very excited. I can't wait to have more to show you. The last thing that I showed was I was working on kind of revamping all of the sprites, and I honestly haven't even gotten much done with that. I've gotten the walk cycle done, but I've started to add in a broom for the character. Let me show you here. Last time she was just a little bit of a blob for her body, but we've got the walk cycle done. I'm working on adding in the broom right now. Um, I've taken away the wand that she had in her original state, and or her idle state rather, and I've swapped that over to a broom as well. Primarily because I've rethought the game mechanics, and being that she's going to have both physical and magical attacks, I wanted her to have a sort of singular item or weapon or tool that can do both. And I ended up going with the broom for that because I felt like it would serve the purpose a lot better than having a wand and a broom, or a wand and some other weapon. And this way it can add a little bit more personality to her character in the way that she carries it and the way that she kind of flourishes with it in the game. Unfortunately, like, that's all I really have to share as of right now. I really am liking Godot. Part of the reasons that I chose to switch is I saw what it can do in terms of lighting systems and in terms of character control and object control without having to hard code everything. And it's not that I dislike doing code. I actually quite enjoy it. But the thing is not having to do it for every single thing and having everything kind of node and scene based, it gives me the opportunity to make more and put more into the game. So I'm actually really excited about it. There's a few things I still don't quite understand, primarily how I'm going to save information from one scene to the next, because Godot doesn't have global variables the way that Gamemaker does. But that's something I'm going to work on trying to figure out soon. But I will promise you this, the next time that I have a video up here on the Dreamhive channel, there will be more game content to show. Hopefully have the character at least in a somewhat finished state, and possibly even start putting together the first level of the game. Or maybe a test play area or something like that. But anyway, have a fantastic day. Thank you for the time that you've spent hanging out here and listening to me talk about this, and I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time. Take care.